All right. And knocking this shit off of the TV again. You're ready. Hey guys, Video Master here, and this is my top 5 most disappointing PS2 games, which I'm recording at 3 in the morning because I'm fucking crazy. Okay, so here's what's going on. You've already seen my top 10 favorite PS2 games of all time, and on my official channel I'm pretty much doing my top 5 most disappointing, as I just said. This is probably going to make a lot of people mad on this list, but well, sorry, this is just something I decided to go ahead and add to the whole top 10 thing, so let's get started. Number 5, okay, I don't actually have a copy, but number 5 most disappointing PS2 game, unfortunately, is Disgaea. Okay, now I know a lot of you people probably like Disgaea, but here's the thing, I do not like strategy RPGs. That is the main problem with Disgaea. Now, why is it disappointing when I kind of went into it knowing it was a strategy RPG? Well, here's the thing. I used to be on this message board that was like, it was kind of an RPG-ish thing where it was like transformation was a big theme, and then, you know, there was magic and everything, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, we weren't crazy. We all knew that there was no magic kingdom and everything, but long story short, when Disgaea came out, everybody was like, oh my god, this is exactly like what this kingdom is that, you know, we're RPing, and this is exactly what we imagined. And everybody was just going crazy for it on the board, and I was the only one who wasn't. And I've got a rally as I'm talking. So, like, I sat there, and I had seen it in the store, and a friend finally bought it for me and sent it to me. Like, one of the people on the board sent it to me, and I finally got to play it. And, oh god, I wish I'd liked the game. I really did, but I hated it. Because, like, you started out, and then you got to, like, parts where it's like, okay, so you can do this on this battlefield, and, like, there's these stones that you can do stuff with, and you can do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And, my god! It is just so convoluted and just ridiculous. Like, why is there all this other stuff that I can do on the battlefield? You want to know what I want to do? I want to go and fight the person and kill him. That's all. I don't want to sit here and position my troops and get it over here. And no, just fucking fight, battle, defend, shit like that. That's all I wanted. So that was the problem with that. I do not like strategy RPGs. They bore the crap out of me. Maybe I'm just too stupid for it, but I don't know. It's like, if you just want to say, well, you're just too dumb to understand how to do the strategy stuff, fine. If that's what you want to say, but I hated it. So, big disappointment because I was like the only person on that board that did not like this game, so it was just a big disappointment. But yeah, moving along, number 4. I kind of find it funny that this is number 4, but Bloody Roar 4. Bloody Roar 4 is number 4. So I actually have this game. I'm a big fan of the Bloody Roar series, and I've played all of the games. Finally, I finally have the first one. It took me forever to find a copy, but my favorite is Primal Fury. Primal Fury is a great game, and this is not. This is like a step backwards from Primal Fury. I don't know what exactly all of it is. Like, part of it is how they did the health bars and the beast modes in this. The inclusion of blood doesn't really matter one way or another. It's like, I really like her, Naga. I think her name's Naga. I really like her. I would love to have her in a Primal Fury game, but all we got is her in Bloody Roar 4, and there probably will never be another one, so that kind of sucks. But, like, just Primal Fury was a much better balanced game. Played on the GameCube, not the Xbox. The only thing for the Xbox is Fong, And, I mean, he's interesting, but the GameCube version is the best version. But Bloody Roar 4 was just a big disappointment. Like, the final dragon boss is just cheap as all hell, as you'd probably expect. It's just the story is not very interesting, and everything's just not really well put together. I mean, what we needed was Primal Fury 2, which we'll never get. And that's what I wish Bloody Roar 4 was. Not really much I can say about that. I'm also trying not to rant for too long on the game, so moving along to number 3. Now, this one's only number 3 because I was not expecting it to be good in the first place. Mega Man X7. When I saw the trailer for this and I saw that it was going to be in the 3D stuff, I was like, this is not going to work. This game's going to suck. And guess what? It sucked. It's just, the 3D doesn't work. It's not meant for Mega Man. I think there's like 2 levels in here that I think are 2.5D, and they're the most fun you can have out of the game. And I actually beat this with all 3 characters. Like, I had to go through, I think, all of the final bosses and shit again just to beat it with the characters so I could see the different endings. And the thing that pisses me off the most is that X is so out of character in this. I mean, yeah, I understand that he never wanted the fight in the first place. Sorry, I'm getting a bit headache. He never wanted the fight in the first place, but he always knew that there was no other way. He had to fight, he had to battle. It's like, otherwise the Mavericks are going to do all this. So, like, in X8 even, it retcons everything in this. He's like, no, this is no time. He goes, damn, the battle started again, but this is no time to be wishy-washy. We've got to stop them or more lives are going to be claimed. I'm like, yeah, that's X. I don't know who the fuck was in here, but it wasn't X. It's like, yeah, X7, it was horrible. But, like, it was nothing against Axel either. I love Axel in X8. It's just, he was introduced in a really bad game. So, yeah, that's X7. And, oh, yes, burn to the ground, burn to the ground, burn to the ground. Yeah, it's really annoying. Everybody who's played the game knows exactly what I'm talking about. And it's probably my least favorite fight in the entire damn game. So, those are 3. What could be number 2? You're going to hate me for this. Okami. Sorry. But the start of, like, I even did a video where I was all excited to get this. It's like, I finally got a Kame! Yes, I'm going to play it. And then I played it, and here's where I think the problem is. A lot of people are going to tell you, this is the PS2 Zelda. This is Zelda for the PS2. Bull fucking shit. This is nothing like Zelda. Everybody who says that, they do not know what a Zelda game is. I am sorry, but no. This is not Zelda. Okay. Like, so, yeah, I walked into this expecting Zelda, and I can see stuff that's kind of Zelda-inspired, but it's not Zelda. Like, the dungeons are not that interesting. There's not really puzzles that you're solving and stuff, or items you can get, or anything like that. It's just, it doesn't come close to what you would expect from a Zelda. Like, if somebody's saying this is the Zelda for PS2, you're expecting dungeons, you're expecting, like, items maybe, you're expecting, like, that type of battle, and while the battle is all in action, like, real time, and it could be kind of like Zelda, the problem is they're random with the little scrolls floating around, and I really don't think it works. I really think the monster should have been just walking along the paths and you fight them instead of the scrolls. It just bugs me. Like, I think, as far as I know, I'm at the very near end of this. I fought like 3 bosses. 4 if you can count the fact that I fought the spider twice. I'm in near the end of the game and I fought like 4 bosses. That's not very Zelda-like. I'm sorry if you're getting pissed off at me and the fact that I keep harping the fact that people said that, but that's what they say. I mean, don't get me wrong, the game is beautiful. It's very, I mean, it plays fine, the controls are just fine, it's beautiful to look at. The story is kind of, I mean, I can take or leave the story personally myself, but the main issue I have with this is it feels like a bunch of ideas just cobbled together into a game. Like, why are there random fishing elements? Why do we have, like the whole paintbrush thing works, but then it's like we've got the action adventure stuff with the dungeons, and just, I don't know, when all put together, it doesn't seem to work. It's like, we got that one sneaking section and stuff, and it's just, you gotta go and do some more fishing in other places, and just a bunch of stuff like that, and just, I don't know, to me it just felt like they were like, okay, well, we're gonna have this idea where she pushes the ball, and then there's dungeons, and there's fishing, and then there's talking to the villagers, and trying to get your godhood up, and blah, 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 this, and this, and this, and this, and I don't know, it doesn't feel polished. I feel that they should have just decided, we're going to make this like this, and then not try to introduce a bunch of new ideas. Like the whole one where there's the ship where you've got somebody on your back. I mean, it's neat and everything, and it's different, but they're just like throwing ideas at you one after another. It's like, okay, now you're on this thing, and now you're doing this, and now you're doing this, and now you're doing this, and now you're doing this. And in the end, I just couldn't get into it. So I stopped. I probably will never get back to the game. Every time I look at it, I'm like, I should play the rest of that. I just cannot bring myself to do it. I was not having fun. So, yeah, ranking on the Okami thing, but I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff that, like, I think should have been in there, or should have been in there. I'm sure a lot of them are just me personally. Like, there was a point where it shows I'm running down the beach, and it shows like some place opened up. And when it comes back to me, I keep running, and my roommate was like, that's not where it is. I'm like, what do you mean? That's where the camera pointed me. He goes, yeah, because you were running there. So, wait, what? This thing happened and doesn't automatically point me towards that thing like, Zelda games do? Sorry. So, like, I know it's probably not that big a deal to most people, but it really bugged me. Like, just little things like that. And, like, the one where you have to kill the 10 monsters and cross out their names. Why am I doing this? Why can't the brush go like this when it's just going to tell me it's wrong? Why don't you just sit there and have it where I push left to right and it just crosses it out and I can't draw any way? Because there's really no other point to this than that little bit of immersion. But the problem is when you make just like one little bump and then it tells you, oh no, that's wrong. That's not very immersive. It's just frustrating. I shouldn't be getting so frustrated on trying to draw a straight fucking line because my controller doesn't want to cooperate. So that was just it. That was just a bunch of stupid stuff that just all piled together, and in the end, I'm sorry, like I said, I feel that there was just too much tried to push in there, so that's Okami. So what's the number one game that disappointed me the most for PS2? Again, I don't own it, but I'm sure I'm going to piss a lot of more people off with this. Metal Gear Solid 2. Metal Gear Solid 2 has got to be the biggest disappointment for the PS2 that I have ever played. It is not necessarily a bad game, but it's just got a flaw in it that I cannot overlook. I mean, the gameplay is fine. I didn't really mind the Raiden thing too much. And I actually was curious. I was actually invested in his relationship with Rose, believe it or not. I was hoping that they would, work everything out. The thing that got me the most about Metal Gear Solid 2 is they sit there and go, okay, so you're infiltrating this thing because these terrorists took over the thing. Oh wait, the terrorists didn't really take over this thing. Like, they're being manipulated by this, but they're not really being manipulated because they knew that this was going on, but then this is going on. But no, wait, this is going on. But no, wait, this is going on. But no, wait, I don't care anymore. I so totally don't fucking care anymore. And I'm sorry if it feels really weird because I'm not like screaming, but it's 3 a.m, so everybody's asleep, so I'm trying to keep my voice down. But that was it. The storyline is fucking ridiculous. It just sits there and it starts out okay. And I played Metal Gear Solid and loved it, so I was really looking forward to the second one. And then I started playing it, and it's like, okay, so we're kind of going like Metal Gear Solid 1, and then we just nosedive into fucking ridiculousness. Nothing makes sense anymore. I've had people explain it to me. It's like, well, see, the whole point was that they were creating a simulation thing to try to make Raiden into a hero like Solid Snake. That's fucking stupid, okay? I'm sorry. I find that the most ridiculous, idiotic thing. So this whole game was fucking pointless. Because the whole thing was just people, like, doing a lab experiment. And it's possibly the dead presidents, except all of the people on the list are dead. Spoiler alert. I didn't care anymore. And that's the main reason why I cannot stand Metal Gear Solid, because the storyline just got so convoluted and ridiculous to the point that I just wanted to throw the game out the window. And if it wasn't for the fact that it belonged to my friend, I probably would have snapped it in half, because it pissed me off that much. Your storyline should not be that fucking ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I like Kingdom Hearts and everything, but I fully admit that the storyline's fucking ridiculous. But at least I can somewhat understand what's going on in the game itself. To the point of, I had no idea what the fuck was going on in Metal Gear Solid 2 until it was pretty much explained to me. And even now, I'm like, well, that doesn't make it right. That just, it's even more stupid. I don't know. It's like it was pretty much the point when once you kill the fat man with the bombs, like after that, it's just all downhill. And it turned me off of Metal Gear Solid 2, just the Metal Gear Solid series so much that I've not played 3, I've not played 4. The only one I played was Revengeance, and even that one had some kind of silly, stupid storyline stuff, but we're not talking about the game, we're talking about Metal Gear Solid 2, and its ridiculous plot. So, I mean, it's really weird that a game, just that one thing, pisses me off this much to the point that I cannot stand to play the series anymore, but that's what happened. It's like, I don't fancy myself that stupid a person. I mean, maybe I am. Maybe I'm just too dumb. Maybe I just could not understand all of the intricate details of Metal Gear Solid 2, and if that's what you want to go and say, fine, because I don't care. The fact of the matter is, I hate the game. It will never be a game that I will ever want to play again. And that's just the way it is. Most disappointing PS2 game ever. Ever. So that's enough of me rambling on. I mean, if you really want me to go into more detail, tell me in the comments. Are there any games that you were disappointed with on the PS2? Let me know in the comments as well. And hey, I mean, that's all it is. If you like any of these games that are on there, I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying that they disappointed me personally. And that's all for that. Have a good night.